So Daniel, what do you think made Christian most happy this year at the racetrack?
Oh, drinking out of my shoe.
It was definitely good champagne, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think, I mean, sure, as a whole, I would honestly say the 1-2 in Malaysia, because I think both of us were, as a team, I mean, it's the best result you can have. Sure, maybe I was a little bit happier because I won, but as a team, you can't get a better result, you know? And obviously your win in Barcelona, I'm sure he was 99.9%.
He was happy, but he felt sorry.
But maybe it was like, because he knew I was probably disappointed, so the emotions were probably more mixed, where I think Malaysia, as a team, it was like, oh, both drivers will be happy enough.
And I think also the way, you know, first we had like a good fight, we gave each other space, and they were like, they were at the pit, were like, oh my God, what's happening, you know? So yeah, definitely, I would agree on that one.
All right.
Did you see him angry at all?
Did I see Christian angry? Angry, I don't know, for sure upset. Again, I would probably say after Monaco on the Sunday. Even we spoke on Monday. I didn't want to sort of speak to anyone Sunday night, so we spoke on Monday, and I could tell, obviously we were both still affected, but I could tell he was pretty down. So yeah, besides Monaco, I don't know. I think we haven't really pissed him off too much, I don't think.
Oh, luckily not too much.
We crashed a few race cars, but not that many.
Yeah.
Come on, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was not bad, yeah.
All right. After Spa, a lot of people were getting on your back about your driving style. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I always stayed pretty neutral about it. I mean, of course, I wasn't happy at all after Spa. You know, after a good qualifying, and then in front of your home car, so many people, they were there to support you, and actually, like within 100, 200 meters, everything just falls apart. Yeah, so I think it's always. The most important thing is you have to believe in yourself, and you shouldn't read too many comments. I think after Spa I also deleted a lot of stuff from my Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You know, I was not following anything from F1 anymore, just other stuff, and I think that helps a lot because you don't read all the comments. What was your best move on track this year and why?
First one that comes to mind is oh, there was a few, but first one is Monza on Bottas. Yeah, it was probably the furthest back I've ever come before. And in Monza as well, your speed is pretty much the highest of the year, and you're braking, as you know, with little downforce. Yeah. So I think to get it right is even more difficult. So to do it from where I did and to make it clean, obviously that is always helps, you know, keeps the, I guess, respect from everyone. Then that was probably my best.
Yeah.
What was your best move on track this year and why?
Yeah, my favorite. Yeah, I think last race in Brazil was yeah, quite a lot of action going on, and I think yeah, the move on Rosberg was pretty nice. Yeah. To go from third to second around the outside, and you're like really on the edge with the car.
The aquaplaning was so
yeah,
bad.
It was pretty bad, and yeah, that was it was a good feeling. Let's say like that.
How do you think you've changed this year? Firstly, I'm sure you've got a bit more hair on your body through growing up and getting old.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, definitely.
But maybe not physically, but inside.
I mean, you're growing up, especially, yeah, traveling around the world makes you grow up very fast, and then with all the experiences from Formula One, that makes you grow up even faster.
And like the outside, like having, obviously, your profile has changed from say last year to this year. Have you noticed like, I guess there's more attention, but is there like some cool experiences you've had with famous people or like anything?
I'm like, I want to stay at home, you know, have fun with friends, and yeah. I'm not like, oh, I want to meet this kind of person, I want to like meet a movie star. I'm really not into that. Of course, you know, you get recognized much more in Holland, like you have in Australia. That has changed a lot from last year, where you could still walk around in Amsterdam quite unnoticed, maybe a few pictures, but like now it's pretty bad, I would say. Yeah. I think it's also, I mean, because nobody has won before in from Holland. So I mean, then it gets quite a lot of attention once you win a race. So
I noticed that as well from 2013 to 2014. I think as well, you get with a big team, so that already creates more attention, and then obviously the results are coming. You're probably on TV more because you're running at the front, and then it
keeps on going.
That's the big team thing changes a lot.
Yeah. What do you think about comments that the rivalry will increase between us next year?
I think, I mean, a lot of people are, in a way, it's cool that they're thinking about this because they believe that we will be fighting for a title. So, in a way, I take it like as a positive that they believe in us, sort of thing. And they think we might get to the point that Lewis and Nico are fighting for a title. And then I guess some of the comments are based on Nico and Lewis's relationship that, you know, before their sort of teammate and all that, they were quite close and all this, and then the rivalry grew them, you sort of spread them apart a bit more and whatever. But yeah, I take it as in a way a compliment. I told them though I would love to be in that position because
for sure.
if we're fighting for a title, then
it would be very nice.
We're both happy.
Yeah. Then I think we'll
take the extra pressure.
Yeah.
When you're racing, how much fun are you having on a scale of 1 to 10? Or is the concentration too great?
That just depends where you are, you know, what position you are and in what state. I mean, if you're catching someone, if you are defending. So I would say Brazil is like close to a 9 or a 10. But I mean, if you're like struggling a lot with your tires and they're coming from behind, it can be like a 4. You know, it's like, of course you're very concentrated and stuff, but it just depends a lot in which situation you are, I think.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it depends on, I guess, your position and that as well. That can change maybe the number or the scale of 1 to 10. But I think generally Sunday is the best day of the week. Like Friday, you know, like practice doesn't excite me nowhere near as much as racing. It depends how the race goes, but let's say at just before 2 p.m. on Sunday, if it's a normal race time, I'm like 10. Like I'm just loving
getting ready for it.
Yeah, so racing is the most fun. Like
at the end of the day, you're a racer. You know, you want to go into the race and fight for points and compete and race for it. Yeah.
All right. How did you feel during those last 17 laps in Brazil?
Well, I was second, and then I dropped back to 16.
From putting the wets on, because we were on intermediates, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was no point to continue. I mean, it was so difficult to drive. Yeah. And I was still like discussing when you pitted, and I was like, oh my God. Well, now
because I was asking, I said, is Max staying out on inters? I was like, I said the restart's going to be tricky.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, at one point, even behind the safety car in the last sector, I couldn't drive it. It was like just a boat.
Yeah.
So I was like, guys, I'm going to pit now, otherwise I'm going to shunt the car once we restart. You know. So then I was like almost last. I think I had one car behind me, like, yeah. And I was about to touch the radio button. I was like, Max, just don't do it, don't do it. So I just stayed away from the radio button. I was like, just thinking myself, I was like, well, just calm down.
To say, yeah, like, what have we done?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, guys, we were like in second and now we are 16. Yeah. But then, yeah, I mean, once I got through the cars, I was getting happier, and I mean, the feeling was there. I was feeling good. The car was performing really well. The car had a lot of grip. Yeah. So then, yeah, I mean, at one point when I was like around 6th or 5th, I was like, okay, well, maybe there's a chance for a podium. And then once you overtake the final car to get onto the podium, then, I mean, it's a really good feeling, I would say, because in such a short time to pass that many cars, of course, was something special, and I definitely enjoyed that.
And to stay on track
was
in those conditions
very difficult. I mean, the last sector was, I mean, I think you saw my near crash. I mean,
I was looking through some onboards, like nearly every driver, maybe not as big as yours, but even Rosberg had a big moment. Yeah. I mean, it was like, just to cross the line in that race, like to finish the race was already like, okay.
Yeah, because my final lap, I was like 1.5 seconds slower just because I was going really slow into the last sector because I didn't want to crash at all. And that was, yeah, as you know.
Did you see Rosberg or they had?
Nah, he was like 11 seconds in front. So, okay. It was a big gap.
That was fun.
It was good fun.